Clarkson Lawson joins me now from Tampa, Florida. Clarkson, you're a liberal in the old sense of the word. People expect you to vote a certain way, to vote for the Democrats. Tell me, where did the Democrats lose their way and lose people like yourself?
Well, I think the Democratic Party today, and thank you for having me, has become so focused on identity politics and fear mongering that people like me who are rational and want to see, proposed solutions to a lot of complex issues that are facing America right now, we get turned off by it. They get on stage and they fearmonger about Project 2025 and try to make me scared because I'm gay. Or, they'll talk about whether or not Stacy, who's 25, can get an abortion. Yeah, those are great things to talk about. But I'd also like to know why my groceries are so expensive. And I think that they've kind of lost sight of the the average voter and what is really important to them. The stay-at-home mom who can't afford to feed their kids isn't worried about whether or not I can get married. And that's not even on the table to begin with.
Now, some of the Democrat mega donors and fundraisers are spilling the beans on just how disastrously this campaign was run. Let's hear from John Morgan here, saying that Trump's 18-year-old son, Barron, outsmarted the entire Kamala Harris team.
It turns out that Barron Trump, who looks like a runway model, was telling his father, you need to go on podcasts, you need to go on Joe Rogan. He was 3 hours late to a rally because he was doing Joe Rogan because that was so important. So Barron Trump is a lot smarter than everybody in the Harris.
And John Morgan has also said the manner in which Kamala wasted donors' money means she can never run again.
$900,000 to put her face on the Sphere in Las Vegas. In the Sphere, the ego, the crazy, the commissions. I was at the White House for a dinner Friday night, talking to a lot of people, and I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of whispering. There's a lot of names about who got paid this and who got paid that, and a lot of people got rich on the back of donors trying to stop Trump. And I think this disqualifies her forever. Forever. If you can't run a campaign, you can't run America.
Clarkson, looks like plenty of folk got rich from that $1 billion plus Harris spent. Do you really think her presidential aspirations are now dead and buried?
I don't think so. I will say she was only on the campaign trail for about 100 days. So given that the election wasn't necessarily a landslide for Trump, I would say that wouldn't rule her out of running. But that price tag is very big. So I think two things can be true at once. I think that her presidential aspirations aren't gone. I don't think they're hopeful. They might want to start looking into other politicians. But I will say, somebody's got to look into where those funds went and who was making those decisions, because that might not be Kamala's fault, but something was going on there for sure.
Well, yeah, it looks like they were just spending money like it was going out of fashion. I guess when you've got more than $1 billion to spend in a relatively short period of time, that's going to happen. Now, we know Donald Trump has been called a Nazi, a fascist, despite being the most pro-Israel president ever. He has a Jewish daughter and grandchildren, and he is about to have an Arab grandchild.
And your grandchild is going to be half Arab or Lebanese.
That's true.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm happy about it.
Okay, great.
I have many friends who are Arab, as you say, but from different countries, but Arab. And I'm very happy about it. They're smart. They're very warm people. It's a shame what's happening over there.
Clarkson, Donald Trump's youngest daughter has married a American Lebanese man, and his father, who's a businessman and a peace advocate, Mossad Bullis, has now been appointed as Trump's Middle East advisor. What do you think about this, keeping it in the family, and this appointment that Donald Trump's just announced?
Well, I think this is a trait of Trump that we all know. He likes to be surrounded by people that are very loyal, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I think in this case, if you want to drain the swamp, you don't put the swamp back in it. So what I'm really hoping is that he drains the swamp and then he builds on it. And I think that his cabinet picks are evident of that. He's always made out to be all of these different names. And I just wish that liberals could disagree with him on policy and not on, character assassination, calling him a racist or, Islamophobic, because it's just not true. And the average American sees through all of that. And I think that's exactly why he won the election.
Yep, they cried wolf too many times, Clarkson, all those slurs, racist, Nazi, fascist. No one believed it. No one believed the manufactured stories anymore. Clarkson Lawson, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks for having me.